Did this ever happen to you that you just sat studying and it's been 15 minutes but you still can't focus? You are getting distracted by the social media or you're feeling sleepy. The entire process seems to be so boring and overwhelming. Well, buddies, we all have been through this, and there are certain techniques and strategies that would help us to study for long hours without getting distracted and or feeling sleepy. If you're here for the first time, a very warm welcome. My name is Tanishka and I'm an 11th grader science student studying at the National Institute of Open Schooling in India. Here on this channel, I share study strategies, tips and tricks and advice on how we can live a productive life as a student. Timestamps are to be included down below in the description box so you can navigate the video, but I would recommend you watching every tip because each and every one is crucial. I don't study for 10 to 12 hours every day. It's like a 6 to 7 hours thing for me. But for most of you, you study for 10 to 12 hours. But yeah, during exam season, when exams are coming, you need to do a lot of revision. Tons and tons of revision needs to be done. And tons of practice questions needs to be done. So at that time, I do stretch my study schedules from 6 to 7 hours to 10 to 12 hours. But generally, in normal days when I'm not having exams around, I study for 6 to 7 hours a day. Now, before starting the video, I would like to give a quick disclaimer that studying for long hours doesn't work for everybody. Like, each and every individual is different. Your learning styles are different. My learning styles are different. And so this video is going to be on a general purpose. Like, if any day, if we have to study for long hours, or for many of you, you study for long hours, for late nights. So for that, this video, I hope is going to be helpful. Let's dive in. The very first tip is going to be attention budget. Now, what is attention budget? Attention budget is basically the limited amount of attention I have to allocate to different subjects or different tasks. Just like managing our money, that is our finances. We should also be mindful of how we spend our attention. So many things competing for our attention, starting from social media, which is a distraction, to notifications, messages. So now we have to decide that where we should put our attention into. Let's understand this by using an example. Let's say I have a water bottle. Now, this water inside the bottle represents my attention, my energy. Now, it's my decision that whether in which of the following tasks will I pour this water, will I pour this attention into. At the start of the day, at the beginning of the day, our attention is full of our energy is full. So at the starting of the day, we are suggested to prepare a to-do list so that we can manage our attention in which of the following tasks are we going to put our attention, are we going to pour our attention into. The budget will vary from day to day, depending on different factors, like whether you had a nice sleep or not in the night, whether you have had a night meal in the afternoon or morning, such and such, or how emotionally burdened you are, and if you're menstruating or not. You know, in certain days, we just don't feel like being productive, or we just don't feel like studying at all because our productiveness at the time, our energy at the time is just less. So at the very beginning of the day, our attention is full, and as the day passes by, we are pouring our attention into different tasks. But the problem here is that each and every task doesn't take equal amount of attention. Some activities are even so difficult to open this lid up and pour your attention into, and some other activities are so joyful that you don't even give any effort on opening the lid and start pouring your attention, your energy into it. Imagine you are going through Instagram Reels, and while you are going through Instagram Reels, it is very difficult for you not to give your attention into, because at the time we pour the lid very joyfully and put our attention into it, but to close the lid is very difficult, and once you close it tightly after so much effort, it's more difficult to even open that lid up and start pouring into something which is crucial like studying. Reason is that research shows that it takes us 12 to 20 minutes to actually get into that zone of studying. Now, there are certain activities and tasks which restore your energy and your attention budget. For example, meditating or exercising, and being mindful about where we are putting our energy into, our attention into, means that we can manipulate it in our own ways. Now, before I can tell you how you can use attention budget, let me ask you a few questions or ask these questions to yourself. Which tasks or activities drain my energy in a day? Which tasks or activities restore my energy in a day? And third, how am I planning my attention budget in a day? Think about the answers throughout the video. I will say that do not schedule time for you to waste your attention or energy, and do not schedule time for the activities which drain your attention or your energy, because if you don't do it, if you don't schedule a time for that, you'll be more tempted to do it. For example, if you don't scroll Instagram at all in a day, it will be very difficult for you to focus on different things because you're going to get tempted to go and check that phone out right now. Instead of doing this, instead of cutting out the distraction completely at once and in the first place, I'll reduce the time I'm going to give to the Instagram reels. I'm going to reduce the time to those activities which drain my energy and my attention. And I'm going to increase the time I spend to those activities which restore my energy and attention. Tip number 2 is to plan in advance. Now, this is something I've started doing very recently, that I sit down with my planner on every Sunday and I plan my entire week ahead in advance, so that whenever I am starting the study, whenever I'm sitting down to study, I don't have to think about like what am I gonna study there, because I already know, I already have that in my planner, and hence I'm not gonna waste my time or energy to figure out that what am I gonna study next, what I'm gonna do now. Now, sometimes there can be some mishappenings, like you may have to go out for some reason, or you're not feeling good, etc., etc. But still, you'll have a sense of direction to work into, and you'll not be directionless entirely, and so your attention and time both are not going to be wasted. The next technique is called the Pomodoro technique, and I can create an entire separate video for this where I'll discuss both pros and cons of Pomodoro technique. So do not forget to check that out. I'm gonna make this video very soon. So what is Pomodoro technique? Pomodoro technique is a time management technique developed by Francisco Cirillo in late 1980s. The word Pomodoro comes from the Italian word tomato. It's the Italian word for tomato. Generally, this method asks you to focus on a particular task for 25 minutes and then take 5-minute break, and then again go back to your task, focus on it for 25 minutes, and again take a 5-minute break, and so on and so forth. It keeps going. So for me, I focus for 15 minutes, which is I study for 50 minutes, and then I take a break for 10 minutes. So this may not be the case for everybody. Everybody has different levels of tension. If you're someone who is unable to focus for more than 10 to 12 minutes at once, so you can start by taking 25 and 5 thing, and then slowly go on into taking 45 and then 5 and 55 and then 50 and 5, 50 and 10, and then again 55 and 5. So I am at the stage of 50 and 10 right now, and I think I'm really doing well. Now, another reason why I do this 50 and 10 thing is because I think it takes me 10 to 12 minutes to actually get into that zone of studying that I already discussed earlier. And once I am into that zone of studying, it's already 20 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I don't want that bell to ring and tell me, oh, congratulations, you just completed your first milestone of focus studying. No. So I would suggest you to modify this according to your requirement, whatever your attention span is. Tip number 4 is called the sanctity of space. What if I told you that the biggest hack study effectively is your space? Think about this. Let's say you're lying on your bed. What would you expect? You would probably feel relaxed. You would like to get some sleep or go and watch Netflix, right? Similarly, if you go to the kitchen, you would like to have some food, grab some snack. Why is it so? Because I have a history of my body training my brain to actually associate that particular space, the kitchen, with food. The same thing happens for other spaces too. So ask yourself, where do I study? And how am I using the space where I study? Is my main study area also a place for me to scroll reels and watch YouTube videos? See, because if you have associated your study space with so many other things, it's very difficult to actually switch halfway through watching your pleasurable YouTube videos to studying. and it takes so much cognitive effort. If your study space is multi-purpose and you're switching from one activity to the another, you're literally confusing your brain, and your brain doesn't know what to expect from the particular space. Now, your task is to create a study mindset, a study space only for studying, so that whenever you are sitting down on your desk, your mind tells you that this is a space for you to only study, it's a space for you to go for your deep work and focus on your deep work. Now, here is a bonus tip which I would like to give you, that is fix your sleep schedule. Believe it or not, but according to researchers and their experiments, when we sleep, our brain connects pieces of information in a better way inside our head. So with new ideas and solutions and answers to many questions that we were searching and we were struggling to find out when we were awake. And all this happens while we are floating into our dreamland. We don't remember what happens in the night, but when we wake up with a better understanding of the topic that we learned the previous day. Whenever you sleep, at least for 7 to 8 hours, your brain works optimally, enabling you to grasp and understand complex concepts very easily. If you have went this far, comment down below. Do you take enough sleep in the night for 7 to 8 hours? And do you want to fix your sleep schedule or not? Because if you're not thinking about fixing your sleep schedule, I'm telling you, you're doing the wrong thing. Before you depart, I would like to remind you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future uploads. Please hit the like button and comment down below whether this video was helpful for you or not. And also, to let me know if any kind of video you want me to make in the future. And as always, feedback is appreciated. I love to talk to you guys. You can follow me on Instagram, and my Insta ID and my email address. Both the links are given down below in the description box. You can check it out. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Gracias.